Hey, what's up, guys? If you ever wanted to feel like you were incredibly stupid, um, just go read any sort of intellectual, scholarly article about quantum mechanics, and your brain will likely explode, and you will want to crawl into a fetus in a corner and just cry for the rest of the evening. That's how I felt after reading this one article, or trying to read it. It came out back in January 20th, but apparently now it's just making headlines. There are at least a couple of articles. It's about the fifth dimension and explaining dark matter and the Higgs boson. And this is probably already going way over your head, because it pretty much goes way over my head. The intellectual or scholarly article, whatever you want to call it, is a warped scalar portal to fermionic dark matter. And yeah, none of it makes sense. And I spent about a good hour, because nevertheless, I just wanted to see, how crazy some of this stuff would be. It literally starts off, here's the introduction sentence. The discovery of the Higgs boson at the Large Hadron Collider, and they put a lot of this stuff in acronyms, so unless you're actually familiar with some of this stuff, like when they write LHC, you won't know what the hell they're talking about. At the LHC represented the last step towards establishing the Standard Model as a solid theory describing the constituents of matter and their interactions down to very short differences. And that's not even the worst of it. It's just, some of the equations have letters and Greek letters that I have not yet identified yet. I'm still trying to figure out what some of these things are. It just goes in, but basically what it was getting at, and with some of the articles that I guess people who read this, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just guessing. You have one that says, let's reel in this talk of a fifth dimension for a second. And even Yahoo says things like, scientists are pretty sure they found a portal to the fifth dimension. And no, they haven't. It's all just theory at the end of the day. What they're trying to do is explain, they're trying to say, hey, look out into space. There's all this space. There's nothing that explains all this space and how gravity acts the way it acts. Yes, we don't really know why gravity acts the way it actually acts. Did you know that? Many people don't know that. I kind of knew a little bit of it, but I didn't know to this extreme, nature of it. So we don't really know how gravity really truly works, and we think that there's some stuff out there that is causing some gravity, but we don't know. So we call it all dark matter, and we can't see it, we can't feel it. It's one of those things that's beyond our current levels of sensory, experience as human beings. It's kind of like how certain animals can only see certain colors of the spectrum, or, certain animals don't have certain taste buds. Well, we as human beings, as creatures, can't seem to fathom or even understand what this dark matter is. So we call it dark matter. We've made up names for it, just like we made up names for the Higgs boson and fermions and gluons and muons. It's all made up names for something that probably actually does have a real technical term and would help us to understand what it is. We just make things up. Sun, star, sky, me, you. But at the end of the day, scientists have no idea where dark matter comes from, so they've got all these theories, and one of them is called this warped warped dimension, warped extra dimensions. WED is what they call it. And again, cannot explain any of this to you. You can try and read about all this stuff, but I can assure you that by the time you get 10 minutes into these articles, into this scholarly article, you will frickin' lose your mind. None of it is, if any, I don't understand any of it. They've got scatter plots. It's got everything you could ever want in a scholarly article, if you are actually into that stuff. Let me read another one. As discussed in the previous section, the Z2, and I don't even know if this is a real letter Z, the Z2 odd scalar field will couple to any fermion field propagating in the bulk of the warped extra dimension. This provides a robust bridge between the standard model and any dark sector having fermions arriving from 5D bulk fermion fields. Did you get that? Did you understand that? I hope you did. In the case where these dark fermions are stable and make for a viable dark matter candidate, the KK excitations of of the odd scalar field thus constitute efficient mediators for dark matter co-annihilation into standard model particles. Do you understand that part? Finally, moreover, as we have already seen, the mixing between both scalar bulk fields induces a Higgs coupling to dark fermions, thereby turning the Higgs boson into an additional scalar mediator. And that, my friends, is quantum mechanics on steroids. So I'm not going to go any further than that, because by now most of you probably aren't even watching. But let me know if you even understood a little bit of this. But I just thought it was interesting because science at the end of the day. And I think science is wild and weird. And yeah, if there's a fifth dimension, which I hope you all know that there are already 4 dimensions. There's, up, down, left, right, and out, and then there's time. So this 5th dimension is where all these dark fermions are somehow going in and out of, and this whole paper is supposedly supposed to be about a portal that talks about this stuff. But it's all theory at the end of the day, so do with it what you will. Hopefully we, in the year 30,000 or something, I don't know, we'll actually be able to figure out how to use this stuff, and we'll be time traveling, high multi-dimensional beings that are like, I don't know. I really don't know where to end this video. I am confused and I'm going to go to bed. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.